It's Christmas time. As you may know, about 5 years ago, I decided not to send out Christmas cards anymore, but to do an annual Christmas video. With the price of a first class stamp, I save so much money. It earns me a trip. It allows me to give lots of presents to the little children at the orphanage. I'm just a simple man. I'm somewhat of a minimalist. So for Christmas, is that toothpaste on my chin? Hold on. Anyway, for Christmas, what I do is I just get a little tree, like this one here. You'd be surprised how much electricity you can save with a little tree. Why, with the money you save, you can buy a box of Cubans. You can make a nice contribution to the Sierra Club and help the environment. Christmas is full of just rich literary traditions. So instead of decorating my house with candy canes and Santa Clauses, I decorate them with some of the more meaningful literary figures to me, which really express the meaning of Christmas. Well, here's Mr. Potter of It's a Wonderful Life. Gosh, I love this man. Whenever I think of Christmas, I think of his immortal lines in It's a Wonderful Life that have really helped me in my business career.
I happen to know the bank turned down this loan, but he comes here and we're building him a house worth $5,000. What does that get us? A discontented, lazy rabble instead of a thrifty working class.
A discontented, lazy rabble instead of a thrifty working class. That's Christmas to me. And over here, we have my great uncle, Ebenezer Scrooge, one of the great financial planners of all time, a man I really look up to. And then, how can you have Christmas without the Grinch? The lesson he taught little Betty Lou Who about there being no free lunch. It's a great Christmas story. The Grinch. Sorry to get sentimental. Well, that about wraps up my my Christmas video for 2020. Wait, I'd like to tell just one Christmas story. You know how chicks will ask you things like, how did that make you feel? Or how do you feel? And we're guys. We don't feel. We think and we act, but we don't feel, okay? Well, I do have one feeling that I had once, and it had to do with Christmas. It was Christmas Eve, and I was going to my big Episcopal church downtown. And before I tell the rest of the story, you may know this, but I know a lot of stuff. And I happen to know a lot of stuff about the Bible. I can tell you how the 12 tribes of Israel split up. I can tell you who the Hittites were. I can tell you who the Philistines were. They were from New Jersey. I can tell you the doctrine of the Trinity. I can tell you who the Galatians were. So it's logical, and I've taught a lot of Sunday school classes, been involved in Bible studies, things of that nature. So it's logical to think that I would know the true meaning of Christmas. And intellectually, I did. So I went to our church service, and we all know the National Episcopal Church and a lot of its clergy are a bunch of vacuous, groupthink, know-nothing communists. But the Episcopal Church can put on one hell of a Christmas Eve service, let me tell you. So this particular Christmas Eve, it was the Messiah, and then it was the service, beautiful Christmas carols. You see all your friends. And on the way out of the church, the lights dim, everybody's got a candle. The choir goes out on the front porch. They have candles, and they begin to sing Silent Night. And everybody doesn't say a word, and they walk out the church. And I think it's snowing that night. And the last chorus of the choir was in German. And the experience I had that night was, although Christianity is often intellectual, is the feeling that you get, the joy that you get, that really makes it real. And that particular night, I discovered, or I felt, I knew, but I felt what the true meaning of Christmas was. It's kind of like the Grinch when he grew a heart. And the true meaning of Christmas is Jesus coming into the world for our salvation. Pretty simple, but the feeling I had of happiness and joy, I'll never forget that. So, I just wanted to say, a lot of people think 2020's been a tough year and they're worried about the future. But remember, the light came into the world to conquer the darkness. And for that, we should feel so much joy. And that's what Christmas is about, I think. So, Merry Christmas, bah humbug.